All right, good morning, everyone. Today is July the 10th, and this is your 10 a.m. postponement of the July 8th Commissioner Court meeting. We postponed court on July the 8th at 10 a.m. due to the storm coming in next to the Hurricane Beryl, so we postponed this meeting till today at 10 a.m. So today we will reconvene that meeting, and we will start with the confirmation of roll call. Precinct 1. Here. Precinct 2. Here. Precinct 3. Present. Precinct 4. Here. And the judge is here. We can hear you. Yes, sir. Let the record reflect that all 5 of us are here, and Dennis Kosey on Precinct 4 is appearing by Zoom. He can see us, he can see the whole courtroom and everyone else, and we can hear him, but no one else can see him but my computer right now at this time. So actually his video's off. But if we need his vote, we'll capture it via Zoom. Okay, with that, we will call this meeting officially to order, and if you will stand for our invocation. Our most Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day here in Lavaca County. We thank you for letting us weather the storm in near perfect condition. We had just a few issues, and Lord, we pray for our neighbors and everyone in harm's way, and anyone that lost their life. I believe our last report was 7. So we pray for the 7 souls that lost their life in Hurricane Beryl, and we pray for the recovery efforts, and this, Lord, we're here for our neighbors like they would be here for us, and we pray for all these blessings and all the troubles in life, and whatever storm that comes our way, whether it's Mother Nature or human nature, Lord, we know we can get through it with you. And we pray for these things in your name. Amen. Amen. Now our pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right, thank you very much. We'll probably have a few announcements today. I think we have one that especially wanted to speak. Frank Fisher, you want to come up and say something? If you would, state your name for the court.
Frank Fisher.
Microphone on? Is there a green light on, please?
Testing.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Frank Fisher. I'm from Ellisville. The Czech Republic President Petr Pavel, he's at the NATO conference in Washington. This Saturday, from 9 to 11, he will be in LaGrange, Texas, at the Czech Heritage Society. The Czech Heritage Society of Lavaca is very active, and there will be several of our members at that meeting. And so that's an opportunity to meet a good president, Czech Republic.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
And that's 9 to 11 on Saturday in Fayette County?
Yes.
Fayette County Fairgrounds, or?
Yes, it's next to the fairgrounds.
Next to the fairgrounds.
So the Czech Heritage Society. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Fisher.
Mr. Frank.
Mr. Frank.
Fisher. He wants
Do
to
you
ask.
speak Czech? Yeah, throw in them uts.
All right, I need an interpreter. I'm not sure what was said. But, okay. Thank you, Frank. We appreciate you. Any other announcements? I just want to announce that, and I think I saw him walk in. Greg Morelli, where are you at? Job well done for the last 4 or 5 days, keeping us on track as EMC. Can you hear us? Hey, Dave, come up. Sure. This is Greg Morelli, our emergency management coordinator. I mean, we planned for the worst, and I mean, we were having daily meetings almost every 2 hours with the weather service. And you want to talk about it?
I'm Greg Morelli. I'm the emergency management coordinator for Wharton, Lavaca County. We've been helping out with Wharton and also down Matagorda County, some of the counties south of us and east of us. And let me tell you what, I got a chance to go down and see firsthand yesterday in Matagorda County. We dodged a bullet. Those folks are hurting bad down there, and there's not a lot left at ground zero in the Sargent area. And so, but I tell you what, the great thing for us is we had a great meeting on Sunday afternoon. We had all the officials here in the county, city, county, as well as all our first responders here. We had I felt like, Judge, you saying this, I thought we had a great plan going into what we were looking at and what we were going to do. Fortunately, we didn't have to do it, but let me tell you what, it was a trial run for us, because now that yesterday evening I got to go down and see some of the just the chaoticness of what's happening post-storm in Matagorda County, I tell you what, it's the enormity of it is it's crazy, and just how the people are affected and things like that. And so I want to thank all of our first responders here in the county for coming together, being ready to go. So people don't know this, Tim and Mike especially had to help out with Matagorda County. They lost all communications 2 days ago in Matagorda County on Monday. Their 911 system went down. When it did, it actually rolled over. We're not sure why, but it rolled all the way over to Colorado County. So Colorado County's 911 center was getting inundated with calls, but they were all coming out of Matagorda County, but there was no way to communicate back with Matagorda County to let them know. Mike, being the EMS director, he actually physically went to Matagorda County, and they sort of, I don't know how to say it, Tim, you would say it, that we, aside from doing smoke signals back and forth between Matagorda County, we bridged that with individual communications between Matagorda County, across county lines, back to Colorado County, so we could help get those 911 calls answered. And so that happened yesterday, and when I was there yesterday in Sargent at their little EOC at the fire station, they were very, very thankful for that, for the opportunity for us to be able to help with that. And so anyway, like I said, none more. We were ready to go, but I'm tell you this, we dodged a bullet, so I'm glad of that.
Thank you. And we appreciate all your work that you did. And like I said, the lessons learned this, and to reiterate, we basically created a human chain of communication with Michael first sitting on the side of the road and 5 miles outside of Bay City. He would take in the 911 calls in his ear or on his phone from Colorado County, and then radio into a DPS officer who was in the dispatch center of Bay City. So maybe 4 hours he had to bridge that gap. And, you know, neighbors helping neighbors is what we did. And I commend Michael. I knew Michael was going. I mean, I said, "Are you going away?" He said, "Sir, I'm already on the way." So that's where it was. Also got a call last night. Decker, do you want to talk about that? We got some units going to Houston. I'm sorry, this is kind of an emergency meeting in itself, but let's just announce what we're doing so we're public about it.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Tim.
Tim Decker, Assistant Chief, Lavaca County EMS. So we were contacted yesterday by STRAC, by one of our old representatives for our RAC from the Golden Crescent RAC, that stated that they were looking for more help in the Houston area after the devastation that they were having, i.e. in the form of ambulances, crew members, to offset the 911 needs that they're having over there right now. They're still pretty dark. There's still many places without electricity, so they have no AC, things of that nature. They're low on medications for families and food and all that. So they reached out to us to see if there was any way that we could help. This is a state resource. It's called EMTF, Emergency Medical Task Force. There's a few agencies around the state that participate in this. And basically what happens is in times of disaster, the state basically activates this resource, and they pull from local municipalities that can send ambulances, crew members, supplies to the area of disaster to help offset that. So we were contacted and asked if we were able to send anybody. So we were able to send 4 of our crew members and 2 ambulances that way that we have, and it's not going to affect our operations here in the county to kind of help offset that. There's also people in the region that are going to be sending in a truck. DeWitt County's looking to try to send one, Calhoun County's looking to send one, and Victoria County is also looking to try to send a unit too. So what we can do to try to help out, just like you had said, Judge, you know, neighbors helping neighbors. If this happened to us, we would hope that we would have that same support. So this is our way of kind of helping out. So it's fully reimbursable. Given the situation, the state will reimburse the crew members, the ambulance, and even the crew members that are going to have to work over with us as well too. So we'll be able to get reimbursed for all that, just like state FEMA funding does. So, but it's our opportunity to help out too.
All right, great.
So.
And I want to say to both of y'all, because you and Greg and Michael were very much influential in the communications. Again, picture being in Bay City, being a judge and an EMC director, You lost your, all 911 communications, all landline communication, all cell phone communication, all internet communication, and we're still trying to figure out why didn't they have a satellite phone
Well,
operation.
like Greg said, this was a good trial run, kind of for us as far as a training institute. We knew what we needed to do, but we didn't know what we didn't know. And kind of learning from those guys, we know what we need to have in place now moving forward. We're going to have a hot wash here very soon on the situation that they have and what we can put into place to kind of mitigate those issues if they were to happen here as well too. We do have a basic communication plan that's going to be updated with some of that information as we move forward. But this is a good opportunity for us to move forward with some new equipment or anything that we might need to facilitate that.
You know, I want to ask one or two to make sure that you're going to those Matagorda meetings, their follow-up meetings to find out, and so we can.
I will say, being there yesterday afternoon, I didn't put this in my property, but after stopping there, it was a valuable couple of hours. I mean, they actually put me to work for a little bit, which was fine. I had no problem doing that because we need the help. But you almost have to immerse yourself in it to understand the enormity of it. I mean, it's just,
Right.
my head was spinning last night. I got home and did that last night.
Well, thanks for your help. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Shannon, you got a question? Or, nope? Okay. All right. All right, well, thank y'all for what you did, and like I said, we want to keep track of it so we can learn from all of it. I know we had some issues with, the issues we had was, we report to a TDM director out of Victoria. Matagorda reports to another TDM director, and we had some communication issues with that, and so we want to get that ironed out as well. So in a storm situation, nothing is perfect, no one's perfect, and it shows sometimes when everyone's under stress, but we'll get to the bottom of it and learn from it for sure. Any other announcements? Okay. All right, if not, then we'll move on to item number 2, discuss and approve amendment to the contract for public defender's services. That's found on page 1. The court may recall we entered into an amended agreement on April 1st to extend that contract for 6 months. We are now going to wrap up that contract early by July 31st. So this is basically just saying I need y'all's approval to wrap it up by July 31st, and we're not going to extend all the way out. So do I hear a motion?
I so moved.
Second. Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Item number 3, discuss and approve Tyler Technologies Employee Access Pro Financial Management Suite to be utilized for human resources. That's brought to you by the Auditor's Office. Do you want to walk us through any of this?
The auditor's office, HR department is respectfully asking the Commissioner Court to approve this financial management suite. It is an HR suite that will give improved communication for our employees. It increases efficiency and it gives the employees the power to look up their own information when it comes to their HR documents, such as their direct deposits, they can download any of their tax documents, their pay stubs, they can check their leave balances, any kind of personal information. We can also put out there all of our HR policies and procedures, anything dealing with our health insurance, and so forth. So we respectfully ask for your permission to go forward with this. It would not start until after October 1st.
Okay. Any questions?
Can I ask you a question or two?
You sure may. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Will there be a mobile app for this as well?
I don't know. I haven't asked that question.
Because you have,
It possibly can be, but I'd have to get back to you on that.
okay, yeah, because it looks like it would be computer-based and,
I would think so. I would think we'd have a mobile app, but that is not the question being asked.
okay, all right, let's check.
It is internet-based, so, an employee will be able to, log on to an employee portal of some sort and look all this information up. So I would think there is an app, but I will not answer that 100% until I
Okay, well, I appreciate it, you let us know. The other thing is, it looks like there's basically a software fee that you pay for the software, and then there'll probably be a maintenance.
There it is.
Portion of that.
According to the quote, the annual fee is not real expensive in my opinion. It's only $654 is what they quoted.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost about $5,800 for them to install it, because this has to, connect with our HR side, payroll side, and employee, records
Yes.
in our software, but yeah, it doesn't appear to be, too expensive on an annual basis.
Yeah, it seems to be reasonable, so, okay. All right.
I always like to add, this technology's been around for about 25 years, and we're now coming up.
And I would just say, it has taken this long to have a commissioner's court that is willing to accept this technology.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've been here 16 years,
I understand.
and the commissioners and the judge, didn't want it, so.
I understand. I'm not saying, it's internal, it's internal joke, internal.
You're not going this on the auditor or the HR department.
Gotcha.
Because I pick and choose my battles.
We got you.
And it's a battle that I don't have to fight anymore. Y'all-
But yeah, we'll still assist those of us that are needing some help, right?
Oh,
It's gonna come with a good set of instructions for our employees.
we will make sure I have a good set
Okay.
of instructions, and we are always available to answer questions.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, any other questions, comments? Do you hear a motion?
Yes. Second.
Okay, I heard precinct 1, motion, second by precinct 3. Any other questions, comments, or discussions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those, okay, Dennis was an aye, so that's a 5-0 vote. Dennis, I'm going to go back, I assumed on item number 2, you voted yes on that?
Correct.
Correct, okay, so that's a 5-0 vote on 2-0, 5-0 on number 3, for the record. Thank you, Dennis. I'll try to make sure we get that captured. All right, item number 4, discuss and approve contract for secure long-term residential service of juvenile offenders between Lavaca County Juvenile Probation Department and Victoria County Juvenile Justice Center and the Victoria County Juvenile Board. This is pretty standard language in the contract that goes forward. Basically, it's for long-term care, it's $250 a day. If you were female and pregnant, it is $375 a day. So that's for long-term care. So do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 1, to approve that, to approve the contract for secure long-term residential services of juvenile offenders between the Lavaca County Juvenile Probation Department and Victoria County Juvenile Justice Center / Victoria County Juvenile Board. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Dennis? Aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. All right, number 5, just like number 4, but this is for short-term. Discuss and approve contract for secure short-term detention of juvenile offenders between the Lavaca County Juvenile Probation Department and the Victoria County Juvenile Justice Center / Victoria County Juvenile Board. And this is for $200 a day for just normal short-term stays, that's typical for Lavaca County.
Make a motion, we approve item number 5.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1, to approve the contract for secure short-term detention of juvenile offenders between the Lavaca County Juvenile Probation Department and Victoria County Juvenile Justice Center / Victoria County Juvenile Board. Any other comments or discussion?
What is a short term? What's the difference in days?
I can find out. Go back to my page. And number 4.
Judge, you want me to answer that?
Yeah, you want to answer shorthand?
Yeah, short term is when a juvenile is.
You want to come up here? You get to come up today, sir. This is Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, James Foster.
All right.
Thank you, James.
Short term is when a child is initially arrested, and they need, of course, the juvenile department and the county judge make a determination on whether the child is to be released to the parents or sent to juvenile detention. Well, in that matter, it's short term usually. It could be a matter of 2 days. Within 48 hours, you have to have a detention hearing. At the detention hearing, the juvenile may be, again, could be released to the parents, or he could be sent over there for 10 days, okay? With the extended care, they're usually ordered there to that program in Victoria by the district judge, and it is usually, and I've been out of the job for a while as a probation officer, but usually it's for 180 days. And that is ordered by the district judge, and it's more of a set order for 180 days. The short term, it just depends on the county judge and how long they think it's reasonable for them to stay there to make it safe for them to go home in the community.
Okay.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
All right, I had a motion by precinct 2, second by precinct 1. Any other questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That was an aye? Dennis? Okay. And just for the record, from juvenile probation, they look for closest center and best cost for the county when they start to look for placements. The problem they have with juveniles is it gets harder and harder to find a local placement. It's just, there's a lot of other counties that have some severe problems, and it's just tough to find beds. So I think we've had this discussion here before, but we were going all the way down to Sinton to house somebody one time. Gonzales County has mentioned they'd like to maybe build a facility or do something, but that's in the works. Okay, item number 6, advertise for bids for lease of approximately 60 acres of pasture land, and we're looking to lease this for 5 years, a 5-year lease, and that's out there on, we call it the Lavaca County Farm. The notice is going to go out today, July 10th through July 19th. Sealed bids, if you're interested in leasing those 60 acres, if you're interested in knowing more about the property, you can contact the judge's office and we would help you find that. It is property ID on Lavaca CAD 7640, approximately 60 acres more or less. Sealed bids, plating marked, will be received by Shana R. Opiella, Lavaca County Auditor at 109 North LaGrange Street, Hallettsville, Texas 77964 until 10:15 a.m. on Friday, July 26, 2024. Bids will be opened and read aloud by Keith Mudd, Lavaca County Judge, or his designee in the Commissioner's Courtroom, Lavaca County Courthouse on July 26 at 10:30 a.m. Bids will then be discussed and awarded by the Commissioner's Court regular meeting on Monday, August 12, 2024 at 10 a.m. So again, bids will be due Friday, July 26 at 10:15 a.m. Bids will be awarded on August 12, 2024 in Commissioner's Court. Any other questions? If not, do I hear a motion?
Yes. Second.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 3, to advertise for bids for lease of approximately 60 acres of pasture land, and we're going out for a 5-year lease on that land. No other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Let the record reflect we had a 5-0 vote on that. Okay, item number 7, discuss and approve BCS proposal to purchase equipment through the Senate Bill 22 funds to outfit the 2 new 2023 F-150 vehicles. That's brought to you by the Sheriff's Office, found on page 38 through 39. JR, Mr. JR, Chief Deputy is here today. You want to say anything on that, Chief?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, JR.
Okay, on this particular, this is a bid to outfit the 2 trucks. And the cost is $25,999.48.
And those are the 2 trucks we just purchased, or
That's
that we
correct.
just approved a couple
Yes,
weeks ago?
sir.
Okay. All right. Do we have a motion?
Is that the cost for both of them or one?
Yes, sir, for both.
Grand total $25,999.48 is what I've got. Correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Any question?
I make a motion to approve the VCS proposal to purchase equipment through Senate Bill 22 through funds to outfit 2 new 2023 F-150 vehicles.
Second.
Second. A motion made by precinct 1, seconded by precinct 2 to approve the VCS proposal to purchase equipment through the Senate Bill 22 funds to outfit the 2 new 2023 F-150 vehicles for the Sheriff's Department. Any other questions, comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes 5-0. Thank you, JR. And you've got one more, I think.
Yes.
Let's see. Number 8, discuss and approve on-site decals LLC invoice in the amount of $1,237.21 to be paid with Senate Bill 22 funds for the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. That's found on page 40. Chief, you got
Basically, that's
pretty straightforward?
that's the remainder of the money that's left in 350,000.
Okay.
1237.21,
Great.
okay?
Okay. And that's going to be for decals on both trucks, correct?
Decals on the trucks, yes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Any comments, questions? If not, do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, seconded by precinct 1 to approve on-site decals LLC invoice, on-site decals LLC invoice in the amount of $1,237.21 to be paid with Senate Bill 22 funds for the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. Any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, let the record reflect we had a 5-0 vote. Chief, you were on, we have to have a report filed, I think, by a certain date, how we spent those funds too.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so y'all gonna, the Sheriff's Office will be responsible for filling that report?
Yes, sir.
Great. And good
Anything
job.
else?
That's it. And great job on this weekend helping us with dispatch, and did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, JR.
All right, number 9. Discuss and or approve authorization to issue requests for a proposal for administrative services, RFP, and requests for qualifications for engineering services, RFQ, for grant pre-application Phase 1, application Phase 2, and implementation services for Texas Community Development Grant Program for 2025/2026 Community Development Fund, and all eligible activities per the application guidance as administered by the Texas Department of Agriculture. That is the government's blurb that goes out for these such things, but we do have Kelly Odom is here from GrantWorks, and Kelly, would you want to come, and Tim Weatherby, if y'all want to say anything to this? I know we have to go out for proposals, but if you could help educate us of what kind of money's out there and why would we be going out for this?
Sure. These are the Community Development Block Grant funds that come from HUD. Congress gives them to HUD. HUD sends them down to Texas if they're non-disaster related through the Texas Department of Agriculture, TDA. If they're disaster related, which these are not, they go over to General Land Office. We do think the county's going to be very competitive this cycle because you haven't received them the last 3 cycles, these funds. This is the largest that comes down. It's called the CD Fund, Community Development, every 2 years. They're for basic infrastructure like water, sewer, streets, drainage. You'll only compete against others in the Golden Crescent Regional Planning Commission. You're not going to have to worry about competing against HGAC or other of the 24 COGs in the state. Phase 1 application just requires you to have a public hearing. You're going to sign a resolution that says the court is in favor of submitting the application and you're willing to put in a 2% match. The last cycle, TDA had $500,000. We expect that this cycle it will be at least that, possibly $600,000 or $700,000. But you know, nice that counties only have to put in a 2% match. LMI, low to moderate income, is a criteria, so you have to serve at least 51% of low to moderate income people. And we prove that by census data or door-to-door surveys. We expect that applications will be due early spring, so after the first of the year, we think TDA will give us a deadline. And then year 1, they'll probably get a contract in late summer, fall of next year, and that's when the clock starts ticking. The 2-year contract would be 25 to 27. In year 2, it'd be 26 to 28. And during that 2-year contract period is when you'd have to put in the match. So it's not like you have to put it in up front with the Phase 1 application.
And being in that LMI area, it would probably, with that kind of money, it'd probably be best to go out for one major probably project instead of trying to split it up. I think you'd probably have a better
That makes it
chance.
easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, for beneficiaries. And So the next steps, if the court's in favor of moving forward, you just do an RFP. GrantWorks or other consulting firms like GrantWorks are allowed to give you sample ads for the paper, sample emails. You know, it's a hands-off approach because, you know, we'd like to do business with the county, so would several others, but we are allowed to provide the state samples. So,
But we would always welcome helping us with the samples, so we
yeah,
appreciate that.
and there's no cost to the county except the cost of the ad. If we don't get you funded or another consultant doesn't get you funded, we don't get paid. So it's just the cost of the ad really up front that the county would have. Any other questions?
We thank you for reaching out to us, and we, you know, this court, I can tell you this, for the last 4 years that I've been attached in some way to the court, we're very frustrated with the competitive process because we keep getting nowhere.
Yeah,
So,
and I hate to hear that. I mean, because grants should help communities, not
Right.
shouldn't be a dreaded process.
Well, and we've voiced this to our legislatures, and the frustration with it is, you know, a perfect example, Governor Abbott's Senate Bill 22 is, hey, it's based on population, here's your funds, you want it? Click here, click here, click here. Will you spend it this way? Yes. Boom, here's your
Okay.
money.
Yeah.
And then come audit us. I mean, like this, on Senate Bill 22, JR will fill a report out, that says, here's how we spend it. If they want to come audit that, that's how we spend it, and everyone's happy. It was simple, easy. So I know you guys are in the business of helping us go after those competitive grants, and we need help. So we appreciate you being here today.
All right.
Thanks. All right, do you hear a motion to approve going after those requests?
Also moved.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, seconded by precinct 1 to approve authorization to issue request for proposal for administrative services, RFP, and request for qualifications for engineering services, RFQ, for grant pre-application phase 1, application phase 2, and implementation services for Texas Community Development Grant Program for 2025/2026, Community Development Fund, and all eligible activities per the application guidance as administered by the Texas Department of Agriculture. Any other discussion or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Let the record reflect we have a 5-0 vote on that as well. All right. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you, Tim, for being here today. We appreciate it. Let's see, where are we at? Number 10. Discuss and approve amending existing contract for services agreement between Lavaca County and Local Government Solutions, LP, to unlimited terabyte or TB image storage. That's coming out of the county attorney's office. Was he here today? I saw him walk in.
Yes.
Mr. Kyle, did anyone say anything on that in regards?
Morning, Commissioners. Not much to say on that. That is part of our new system that we put in place back in 2022, where basically all of our files go onto the computer and are stored. What happens is we've got a lot of videos, body cameras, dash cameras, forensic interviews, and that's taken up a lot of space. And so this is the second or third time that we've increased our space, and they've told us we could increase it one more time or just go unlimited. So we thought, hey, in 3 years, we've increased 3 times, let's just go unlimited. I think it's just $5 extra, but it's just gonna save us down the road. So just gonna add us some more space for our software.
Okay. Just for further clarity, I think the sheriff's office is having the same problems. It's their video storage as well, and I believe Jason, we just approved going out for more storage space for the sheriff's office. They're the ones gathering the videos and information, and then they upload them to us or to you, the DA's office. So it's a complex technological world.
And I heard from a defense attorney, so some of them have had trouble getting in, but once they get in, they feel like it is actually one of the better solutions that they've used. And so that was some good news to hear, that our system is working. Once they kind of figure out to get in, obviously it's sort of difficult to get in. They've got to double authenticate, and so if you're not familiar with that, it's kind of a harder time getting in. But once they get in, it's working.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time and effort. And this is the new monthly commitment of $937, I believe that's correct?
That sounds right.
Okay, all right. All right, any discussion? Do we hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 2, to approve amending the existing contract for services agreement between Lavaca County and Local Government Solutions, LP, to unlimited TV image storage. Any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes 5-0. Okay. Number 11, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Ryan Pope. That's found out of precinct 2, down on page 45 of your packet.
Yes, Judge. In Commissioner's Court, we're talking about a 7.17 acre tract that is being divided into 3 2.39 acre tracts. It's located just off Lavaca County Road 203 and Highway 77, and so each have access to the roadway, and so upon examination of this application, it's determination of the Commissioner's Court of Lavaca County that this certificate of exemption should be extended to Ryan Pope in the belief that the application adequately demonstrates eligibility for exemption from the Lavaca County subdivision regulation under section 1.3A and C of said regulation.
Wow, good. Was that a motion?
That is a motion. I will move to approve.
Okay. Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1. I'm going to keep mine a little shorter to summarize. Motion was made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1, to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Ryan Pope. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those. Dennis, that was an aye?
Aye.
All right. Motion passes 5-0. All right, number 12. Discuss and approve the KBDI index and a countywide burn ban if needed. I did bring an attachment. Thought I did. You, Mr. Tim, you want to say anything on this? Spokesperson? Also some show and tell.
So, Judge, just a review on the KBDI, that's the Keach-Byron Drought Index. That's kind of what we used or have been using now to trigger for burn bans. Our trigger number is 500. And the way we get that number is basically this index measures the top 8 inches of soil saturation. So as we dry out, that number goes up. It's measured in hundreds of inches, so you max out at 800. Currently, we're sitting at 479. We were at 471 yesterday. So we're averaging, especially on 100-degree days, anywhere between 6 and 10 points a day. So we jumped 8 points just from yesterday to today. So we're currently sitting at 479. That's not 500, but it will be very, very soon with no rain coming. So there's a picture on there as well, too. Those different colors on there represent the soil saturation or the lesser of. And so this is what Lavaca County is kind of looking like. That was, I believe, yesterday's, right?
That was
Judge?
yesterday's, and you could see what the storm came, that's the storm water, basically dumped on the ground, and we're drying out.
Yeah, and the number we use is an average for Lavaca County. So there are places in Lavaca County that are at this point. There are some areas that are in the 300s, but to make it the most fair we can, we take the average for the county, and that 479 is the current average of Lavaca County right now. So
Unfortunately, I anticipate the fire department telling me next week we need a burn ban.
most likely, Judge,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. And the way that works, the county judge can declare the burn ban on his own accord, on his own order, and then the court will have to ratify that in 7 days. So we can call an emergency meeting to have everyone together. Our next time to convene, we have a scheduled, I think we have a scheduled budget workshop for the 15th. If we needed to do that on the 15th, we might also schedule an emergency meeting just prior to that. So if we're all here, we could sign that order if we needed to. But appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be on standby for the fire department. So.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And I know, speaking on behalf of the Fire Chiefs Association, this is one of those instances that kind of helps keep the volunteers and the responders safe as well. When conditions get over the 500 points, it just makes for a lot of dry tinder on the ground and easy spread. So I understand that a lot of people need and probably want to burn during these times, but with the wind, the way it is, the way the conditions are, it's very quickly to spread to somebody else's pasture, to a house, to exposure of that. So this is just kind of helping to keep the whole community safe as well as the responders going out to the calls. So.
I think it's also key that we need to maybe launch a campaign. We have a lot of weekend warriors, call them, from Houston to come in, and they're not aware of regulations or that they shouldn't light that bonfire today in July.
Yeah, and I've spoken with each of the departments on getting their burn ban flags out, but I really think some of the progression with some of this is to get some more education out to the public and get some more notification, rather than just a burn ban flag at the fire station. You know, get something out inside the cities to where you're seeing it more, and so more people are realizing that it is on. Because there's a lot of people who maybe don't come to town every day, you know, or every other day, and so when that triggers, they just don't know. And so just getting that education out and getting that information to the public would be big. So we'll explore different options to be able to get that moving forward. But
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Judge.
All right. So unless you guys make a motion for burn ban, we can table that to another day.
We'll table it.
Anybody? Going once, going twice? All right, number, where was that? Number 10 has been tabled. No need for burn ban at this time, but we're getting very close. That doesn't mean you go rush out and start burning piles. You got to also have situational awareness. I'm green at my house, but my neighbors are not, probably, so. Okay. Item number 13, discuss and approve forming a committee to interview and hire a veteran service officer and/or to explore creating a mutual aid agreement to partner with a neighboring county's existing veteran service officer. I'm recommending, we've taken ads to hire a veteran service officer, but we've also had talks with Judge Prowsey at one time about partnering with let's just have one that can share both counties. So I want to set up a committee, and I've asked these three gentlemen, Stephen Greenwell to chair that committee, Jerry Tanner, and James Fenner. Those are all three military veterans, and I think veterans should be making this call of what they need based on what do they see. So I make a motion that we approve forming a committee to interview and hire a veteran service officer and to explore creating a mutual aid agreement to partner with a neighboring county's existing veteran service officer, and to appoint Stephen Greenwell, Jerry Tanner, and James Fenner to that committee.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? I know Greenwell was never a former Marine, always a Marine, but Stephen Greenwell served in the Marine Corps. James Fenner served on Marine One at the White House, very dignified position back in his day, and Jerry Tanner was a lieutenant colonel with the Navy. Is that correct? Air Force. So those are three respected gentlemen in the community, and I think they can help us steer us in the right direction. So I'd like to hear from them. I had a motion made by myself and seconded by Precinct 1. Any other discussion or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Number 14, discuss and/or approve authorization to issue requests for public auction services from companies that will represent Lavaca County in selling surplus property and equipment. And we have in the courtroom, if y'all want to say anything, we've got a company that CM Company Auctions. This is Ms. Calvo, or Mr. Chittum? Greg Chittum.
I'm Greg Chittum. Senator Calvo's our South Texas area rep. And thank you for allowing us to approach today and considering our auction services to eliminate your surplus equipment in the county. So one of the things that we do is we come in and we help you evaluate your equipment if that need be, and we can give you ideas of what recommendations we have on what selling market prices, that kind of deal for your equipment. We do not pull from your staff. You don't have to furnish anybody for us to do the job. We need a list and approved equipment, and we're ready to go out there and go to work for you. We put skin in the game, so we worked really hard for that. We want to achieve market price. We have probably 20,000 bidders in our database, so we notify those people. We do all the advertisement, all the promotion, and that's all included in our price of 10% of selling your equipment. We do that, we take the 10% out of the proceeds, you net the rest. We do all kinds of title work. My company's been a licensed motor vehicle dealer since 1981, so we keep records of everything that we sell for you, and we furnish that file as well in case there's some kind of dispute later on. Maybe it's a toll bridge or something like that. We can prove that that was sold. We do all the title work. We just need the title signed off by you and a 130U.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, or? One of the things that, in full disclosure, we met these guys down at our conference that we were at, and one of the things, first of all, I think Calhoun County was recommending that we need to talk to you guys, or should talk to you. And when I met you, you said, who do you know from Gov Deals? And I said, I don't know anyone from Gov Deals. And you said, exactly, you know us now. So we have a face to what's going on, and someone that's actually possibly marketing we know that you're out there marketing our stuff to the best of its ability.
Right, we work really hard for that because that's how we get paid. So you hear some of these other auction companies, they'll say, we do it for nothing. Well, what do you get for nothing?
Yeah.
You know, and so we don't just put a software out there that you have to do the work, we come do the work.
Right.
So it's all on our side, it's all managed by us. Our people are all members that bid through us, and so they have to pay a registration fee, so we verify those bidders.
Okay. In other counties that y'all have served, do they use a mix of Gov Deals and other companies?
Mostly, we're exclusive, like Zapata and Port Lavaca or Calhoun County, we're exclusive to them. We do a lot of lenders. We're a buy-board approved vendor. We're also at American Electric Power. We sell their equipment, so we've been verified. And I've been doing this for 20 years, so we've built up a huge list of buyers.
Okay. Do you have a physical location where these auctions
We
are?
have a physical location. Our headquarters is in Abilene, Texas. That's where cmauctions.com originated.
Okay.
What's your name again, sir?
Greg Chittum,
And the company name?
CM Company Auctions.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
So you caught my ear when you said, vehicles or titles and paper. If we sell a vehicle from the county, what is the process? Because I'm the tax assessor and we do the transfers at our
Right.
office.
So the transfers, we leave that to the individual. The way we transfer them is unless they're a dealer, dealers do all their own transfer. We assign that title. So if that title is assigned from a government entity to an individual, it's their responsibility to transfer that title. And so, and in this deal, we'll have a file for you that everything will be by the last 6 of the VIN. And so you'll have that proof that that title was assigned, and it is up to that individual to transfer that title.
Can we still do the title work on our own rather than you take care of that? Because,
You can assign the titles if you would like.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we sign the title and we have the individual go to our tax office and have that.
We can make that as an option.
Make sure that it's transferred.
Right, we can-
download the title in their name.
Right.
We had just had an incident with selling a vehicle, a piece of equipment from precinct 1, and, yeah, no.
We can make that a stipulation if that's what you would like in there. If y'all want to do that.
I've never done that way in court, unless the court wants y'all to do it, but that takes a lot of risk, because.
Once the deal is done with a vendor and the title, do you keep the title, or do you take it to the tax assessor, or does that person?
That person, that buyer is the one that takes it to the tax assessor in their county.
Who's responsible for that vehicle if that title is still in Lavaca County's name?
Okay, so that vehicle has been signed off by Lavaca County. It's been signed off, and we've assigned it as the purchaser to that purchaser that bought it. And so that assignment has been, we've done that for years in government and with financial institutions, we do the same thing. Many other auctions do that now, but you can change it. There's some schools that do exactly what you're talking
I'm
about.
not comfortable with that. It's like, we're selling a vehicle,
Right.
Lavaca County's name is on the title.
Right,
We turn it over and Lavaca County signs as the seller.
right.
And you have someone that's gonna be the purchaser.
Then we assign the purchaser, right?
That paperwork needs to make sure it gets sent to my office to get transferred.
Right.
It'll say Lavaca County,
If that's what if that's what's suitable for your county, we
Yeah.
can do that.
we always tell our customers, do not hand the title to a person that you're selling it to. You don't know whether they're gonna come to the tax office or not.
Right, and that does occur. But we have a lot, so with our out-of-country purchasers, we can stamp those export through your office because they're going to be exported. And so the way that we do that as a licensed motor vehicle dealer, each assignment has an export stamp,
Right.
export only.
Dealer, I have no problem.
Right, dealers and exporters.
This isn't,
Individual.
accounting to an individual.
If you want it that way, we can do it that way. We have certain places that we do it that way. That'd be no problem to work into the deal.
I think the question for the day is open our eyes up to, hey, we just always gov deals, and who is gov deals? We don't know, I mean, are we getting best price, or is anyone marketing that for us? We don't know. So I think we need to keep people on their toes and have options.
And so, for example, when I was telling you about counties using this as an exclusive, Calhoun County, we do everything for them, the sheriff's office, everything in Calhoun County. So the judge had purchased a property across from the courthouse and had a house to move that they wanted to move, but they wanted everything out of it before they started tearing it down. So he informed me of what he was wanting to do. We went over there, cataloged that house for him, and sold it. And this is one of those services that we provide after we're already set up with the county. That brought $60. But we drove from Corpus over there and did that for that county since we're the exclusive auction. We're going to take care of it. I mean, if we have to come back and help you with tires or whatever, that's what we do.
Fair enough. So I guess the process, I don't know if we need to go out for requests. I mean, again, there's not many, I mean, I don't know how many competitors and auction companies are out there. I know there's some local companies like in Blooming, Lockhart, and
They've
so
never
forth.
approached us neither.
Yeah, exactly. So we just need to look into it more. So
Okay.
we put this on an item for discussion because we can't discuss this in full force, so we want to, as you've approached other counties, I mean, I guess we just need, I don't know, do we need to go out for bids or for, or request for proposal?
The item says, discuss approval authorization to issue request for public.
Yeah. So I think we need to go out for requests.
We do that, yes.
Okay. So I think Commissioner Faircloth is right. The item is listed, discuss and approve authorization to issue requests for public auction services from companies that will represent Lavaca County in selling surplus property and equipment. So that's the agenda item. So do I hear a motion?
I so move.
Second.
Motion made by Precinct 2, second by Precinct 1 to approve the authorization to issue requests for public auction services from companies that will represent Lavaca County in selling surplus property and equipment. Any other discussions or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I didn't hear you. Aye. Aye, okay. Aye. All right, that motion passes 5-0. So we will solicit and issue requests for services.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you very
for
much.
your time today.
All right, appreciate it.
And I'm going to
You have a contract, and we can tailor that to fit whatever.
Item number 15, discuss, thank you. Item number 15, discuss and approve rural law enforcement salary assistance program funds, SB 22 for the Lavaca County Attorney's Office. Mr. Kyle Denny's back at the podium.
This item is really just an update. Judge and I wanted to update the court on where the prosecutor's office is on the SB 22 money. So as you recall, SB 22 was passed during the last legislative session. It gave a lot of money to constables, sheriffs, and prosecutors' offices. With the sheriff spending his money lately, the judge was asking me kind of what was my plan for the money. So for prosecutors' offices, its only use is for salaries. And it's actually restricted to VACs, or Victims Assistance Coordinators, or attorneys. And as a lame duck elected official, it's been somewhat difficult to actually find new attorneys or new staff that has wanted to come on board. And so I've reached out to the incoming attorney, and we're in discussions right now to work together during the last 3 months of the year, and so that he can transition into the role and get to know the office kind of before he takes over the elected position. So right now, that's kind of the plan for part of the money. And remember, we've also got money already in the general fund for another attorney. And I want to make sure that that's kind of clear in everybody's mind. Of course, it's budget season. And so we've got the SB 22 money, which I'm proposing to use for an attorney. Might as well use that money first. And also, I'm proposing to hire a new assistant, a victims assistant coordinator, so that it complies with the legislation. And then that person would actually be potentially Mr. Reeves' secretary now, who he is proposing to bring on. So again, what our plan is tentatively is to use that money to hire Mr. Reeves and his secretary as kind of a transition process. Now, obviously, I think we're going to have to go out, put an ad in the newspaper, and go through the whole process. But we are in discussions right now to make that happen.
Are you in position right now to ask for those positions to be created with those funds, or?
And so, again, in my mind, we've got one position made. The attorney position is made. I guess I am asking the court for a new position for the victims assistance coordinator. I don't have an amount yet to ask for. We're still in talks about that.
Okay.
But
Go ahead.
you have a set amount, though, of funds that are available to you.
Correct, 175 from SB 22.
Okay.
And if y'all recall, what we've been doing the last couple of meetings with the sheriff's office, they had $350,000 that was received, Senate Bill 22 for the sheriff's department. I believe we've allocated that now. So the court has made all the approvals for that funding. My concern is the way that those grants worked is we received the grants and this court approved receiving the funds and depositing them with the treasurer's department, but we didn't approve how to spend it. So with, now we've just gone through that with the sheriff's office, so we approved taking the funds, now we've approved how we're going to spend the funds. That's all taken care of. Now, what I asked JR just a minute ago, Chief Deputy, was who's going to fill the report out? We have to fill a report out that says here's what we did with those state funds. So with the attorney's office, we've got a short window here and a transition coming, and we need to, if we don't, there's a deadline looming coming up on us. If we don't spend the funds, and we're going to have to say we didn't spend it and give it back, and we don't like getting money back.
The deadline is going to be December.
December?
Yeah, so this,
End of the year.
this money, the first round of money was a calendar year, but then starting on August 1st of this year, or 60 days before our budget, we've got to apply for the next round, and then that's going to follow the fiscal year.
I see some concerns with officers. My concern is,
I know the sheriff's department is, you have to have it spent by September 30th. I have to look at yours. I haven't looked at yours a whole lot, so I don't know. I don't know what the dates are on the contract.
okay, so we want to make sure we're clear on that, because that's the way I read on the sheriff's department as well. It's like 1 month after September 30th, we have to have our report submitted, proof of where we spent the money.
And the other thing is, the prosecutors are only allowed to use it for salaries. We cannot purchase any sort of equipment with it.
Okay. While we're on this, because it is part of the general discussion of this subject matter, so you are in talks with James Reeves, the incoming DA, and y'all trying to work out some agreement to bring him in early.
Correct.
So I was thinking, okay, great. That's my understanding as well. I've had talks with James as well, and I think it's prudent. Y'all have got murder trials and things to sort out, but one coming up pretty quick, I think, this year. So I believe that's prudent activity on you. I commend you for working with them and trying to work out something. So.
The expiration date for yours is September 30th.
So not December,
September 30th.
September 30th.
Okay. So our next Commissioners Court meeting is the 22nd, I believe. So it's coming up pretty quick. That's 12 days from now. I think we need to have some sound, boom, 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 what we're doing. But now, if we have to fill that position, if it's the victim assistance coordinator position, it's got to be filled by then to prove that. So I think we go ahead.
I know there was some discussion on the auditor's listserv about victim assistance coordinators. Is this position going to be exclusively a victim assistance coordinator position?
It doesn't have to be exclusive. The wording is primarily.
Primary.
I know there's been discussion and talks with the state, and there's been very
The information that I have, it has to be their primary responsibility. And yes, to that answer, with that guidance coming down, it can't be just kind of a part-time victim's assistant, it has to be a primary. So my thinking on that was over 50% of their time has to be spent as a victim's assistant coordinator in order to use that money to bring them on. And so, yes, that is the goal, that that person would then spend at least 50% of their time was what I was thinking would be a primary role.
I would like to do this, just so we can, time is of the essence in some ways, and I've heard an August 15th tentative timeframe of getting James in. That could be, give or take, 15 days or a month or so, but we have not approved that in this court. I would like to make some approvals that allows you to come to make some decisions in between court sessions. So I would like to make a motion to allow the Attorney's Office to create a Victims Assistance Coordinator position with a salary range of up to $45,000, and advertise for that position. And also, I would like the court's authority to, if our current county attorney has reached a deal to approve bringing in James Reeves as assistant attorney, if y'all reach a deal, and that would be up to, I would say, up to matching the current DA salary now. So in other words, we would bring in an early DA matching the current DA's salary during that type window, and giving us some time to transfer everything over. Fair? Does that sound correct?
And so with this motion, would we still need to bring it back to court to hire them?
No, you don't have to hire and fire through court. If we create those positions now, and we got up to funding amounts now, then you're on your own to go hire and fire or do what you want to do. The court, we voted that in 2020. We no longer hire and fire through the court. You have budget allotments per line items for specific positions. A lot of, but anyway, that makes sense. Probably doesn't make sense, but we don't have to hire or fire specific people through the court system. We're creating positions. So I make a motion that we create a Victims Assistance Coordinator position up to $45,000, and also allow you to hire an assistant attorney, the incoming DA, early to match the current DA's salary. So he could come on early. If he's going to come on, I'll match the salary, in other words.
And just so I'm clear, is that in addition to the already assistant attorney position through the general fund?
I don't think so, because I think that if he comes in early, then he can start going out for search for that assistant early.
And that's why I asked.
Yeah, so that's in addition. This is kind of creating a separate position, and that would use up that fund.
So what should the SB 22 money be used for?
Bringing in an assistant attorney, and I'm going to, with this public knowledge, in the salary range of $140,000.
We need to be clear on that.
Let's do it. So, is that, I want the calculator.
So
You only have 175,000 to spend, and you're talking about spending
85, yes.
85 or 75?
Okay, so
His current proposal is 185.
So what I propose right now is just, we're spending 185,000, creating two new positions.
I didn't hear you correctly.
So I'm making a motion, we're creating a Victims Assistance Coordinator up to 45,000, and an Assistant DA's position up to 140,000, spending those SB 22 monies this fiscal year on those positions. Still leaving an open assistant attorney's position that we'll have to come back to court. We're going to end up with 2 attorneys, but we may go through a period, if James comes in and hires an assistant in October, November, December, if he does, we have that other position there. And so you could operate with 3 attorneys and crossing over all the cases you have.
So we're good for the rest of this year, but starting in October, we'll be over budget. That's what you're saying, right?
Or is that money gonna be spent by September?
That's the goal.
Well, I mean, you're hiring the people now, you're only gonna use the money from now to September.
Yeah, the 175 from this year won't be spent unless we give them a salary of $300,000 or,
Not gonna
You're
happen.
hiring the person now till September, and you're gonna pay them.
So we're gonna end up giving,
Yeah.
so we're good for now at the proposed 140 and the 45.
That takes care of the 185.
That, yes, we're good for this, for the rest of this fiscal year.
Will be 10,000 overall.
But Ms. Opiola is saying, we started in the new fiscal year, October 1st, and then we're going to be over budget. That's what Mr. Puska's saying.
well, then we can go back to, because you can go retro. I know with the sheriff's department, we could not be eligible for the funds with the sheriff's department until we adjusted salaries appropriately, which we did that last summer. And then we didn't get approved for the funding till January, February. I know, but I'm saying we could have used that money, instead of buying equipment, we could have gone retro and said, well, we're using that funding to adjust these salaries for the sheriff's department. Okay, so this is different, where now we've got 175 has been given to us and we haven't moved quick enough. So, but I do think, regardless of the funding, this is what we need to do for the betterment of the county, if you're willing to bring in the incoming DA early.
Yes, I'm certainly good with that. I just want everyone to be clear that, as proposed, 10,000 will be coming out of the general fund, which I think is perfectly fine, because right now, I don't have an assistant, and so we budgeted for that assistant, and so essentially, we'll be taking from that line item and adding the SB 22 money to make up the difference for the next budget.
Gotcha.
So just between everybody here that's been involved in the discussion, just to be clear, so what we're talking about doing, we're talking about an annual salary here, correct?
Correct.
Okay, we're not talking about, the money has to be appropriated by September 30th, correct? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so there's the overlap of the new budget cycle. But these are annual numbers. This is not, it's not for the rest of the fiscal year. We're talking about an actual annual outlay. So I just want to be clear that that's what we're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
If we have an annual salary, they're only going to get paid bi-weekly from now to September 30th, and that's what's going to get paid for by SB 22.
Okay, and then what happens after September 30th?
You have to reapply, county attorney must reapply again for those funds, and if we get X amount of funds, we get it, the remainder of what was left over from this year gets sent back. Because you have to file a report stating what we spent the money on. And if there's any left, you send it back. It says that in the remainder.
So we're only going to be able to appropriate those funds for 2 months, basically.
Correct.
And the balance goes back?
Correct.
Uh,
And then we get a new 175 for the new,
If they want to.
for the new.
Yeah, if they approve that, yeah.
It's like, hey, you won the lottery, but you got to spend, if you didn't spend it, you got to send it back.
It is an automatic 175 as long as you apply for it.
And
It's not a reduction type grant.
if you go back to what the funding was for, but the Senate Bill 22 funds was salary assistance. And they're giving us assistance right now. We're in a position where we need assistance. So this is the perfect example of why we need it. The issue is we don't align perfectly with incoming candidates coming into office and the budget cycle, and it's just like,
And so for the last quarter, October, November, December, the assistant county attorney's salary will be paid out of that SB 22 money. Then he will transfer on January 1st to be paid by the state and can hire someone else at a lower amount.
Yeah.
And I think that would take care of your concern of being over budget.
Okay. And this is temporary, so this is a unique situation where we have a DA that's, and we've been talking, he's dumping cases in preparation to come in. And we started having more aggressive talks with him, I guess, 2 weeks ago, because he has finished all business with the county as far as he has no criminal cases in the county that I'm aware of.
A couple more.
He's got a couple more? Oh,
Yes.
dear. Okay, well then we'll get through it. But this is a unique situation where we're asking for temporary funding to fund 2 DAs, basically for a short term, and we have that extra money to do it, and then we'll come back to the budget cycle and say, well, how we're gonna operate after this, and we'll kick that back down. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So my motion still stands. I make a motion to create a Victims Assistance Coordinator position up to $45,000 annual salary, and an Assistant DA's position up to $140,000 temporary until January 1st. And then we'll decide what to do after January 1st. Correct? Okay, that was my motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right. Motion made by the judge, seconded by precinct 3. Any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, thank you very much, Kyle. We appreciate it. Okay, item number 16, discuss and approve the Lavaca County paving agreement update. Any updates, sir? Sirs?
Yes, sir. I got some prices and they ordered this equipment. RV, out of RV Everett in Pasadena, Texas, a Freightliner 2023 hot oil distributor truck was $312,000. Chip seal spreader for paving. It'll go up to 24-foot wide. It's $388,975, and a RGM lowboy trailer, that's a detachable neck to haul this equipment, out of East Texas Trailers, was $61,640,000. Did I say that right? Anyway. For a grand total of $762,615.
And the court already had approved that amount, or up to what?
800.
800, okay. So you're at 762, 615. Have you made those purchases?
Everything is ordered.
Everything's ordered, okay. All right. Any other questions or updates regarding that? Is everyone adequately spending their paving dollars this year?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Trying.
Trying.
I was gonna see if I could borrow some
No,
of
I have
theirs.
any left over, I can use it.
Again, just, this paving agreement has been something, nothing new necessarily, we're just being more transparent with it. We're putting in writing what we're going to do, sharing equipment together. Hopefully, when we get to looking at our reserve funding, what we have, if we may spend down that reserve by letting them have some more materials coming up for next fiscal year. Okay, all right. So that's to go with the next budget. When we meet the budget workshop next week, we'll start looking at, and I don't know if I have all the numbers ready to go either. I'm going to visit with our appraisal district at some point to kind of figure out where we are tax-wise, what kind of dollars are out there. Trying to keep that tax rate down. That was our goal, was to keep declining the tax rate, taking advantage of new growth. And then hopefully, if our reserve starts creeping up too much, then we've got some dollars to throw right into road materials. These guys need road materials. They haven't been neglected for the last 5 or 6 years. So, okay, do we have a motion to approve the paving agreement is provided?
Yes.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2 to approve the Lavaca County paving agreement update as provided by Commissioner 3. Any other questions, comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, we are now at the consent agenda point. Do we have a motion to move into consent?
So moved.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 2 to move into consent. All those in favor of moving into consent say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes 5-0 to move into consent. We're now in consent. Our microphones will go off at this time. All right, we were out of consent. Is there any other business of the court? If not, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion to adjourn by precinct 3, second by precinct 2. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you very much. We'll see you budget workshop on the 15th, hopefully, and then next court meeting will be on the 22nd of July. Thank you all.